I think we should also speak to we should applaud the slow reaction of the police officers.
Yeah.
Anybody notice how
that first video?
She had the mace in her and she was like,
everybody be getting canceled when they go to that realm. You know what I mean? I don't know what you about to say, but what I'm saying is, don't look for me to add on anything.
You don't have to add on.
You don't. If you don't
want to add on, you don't have to add on.
I didn't know what you were.
I just
want you to be careful, bro. Be careful now.
I just want to talk. Can I talk? Floyd Mayweather, as good as he is, isn't jumping up to heavyweight. He would get destroyed. Because, all right. So hold on.
So I understand.
So there's volume.
No. I understand why y'all think that it's stupid. It's because y'all are stupid, and I can. I get it. This was a genius fact. Okay, so this is what you have to do. What's going on, everybody? I'm Wolfman, and you're tuning in to All Facts Podcast straight up. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got a good episode in for you guys today. If you've been tuning in to everything that's been going on this week, then you know this is gonna be a hellified episode. But before we get into that, let me introduce my guys, man. As always, I appreciate them all for coming out. To my left, man, I got the Big C in the building. You feel me?
What's up, y'all?
100. Glad to have you back, player.
Thank you.
Light skin, man.
Glad to be back.
Philosopher Fred, what's going on with you, man?
What up?
10-4. And the one, the only, Dre London in the building, man. How you feeling?
I'm always good, man. What's happening with you?
Always good. I'm straight over here too, man. I'm straight over here. All right, man. So let's jump straight into it, man. I don't want to delay too many. I don't want to delay the interactions, man. The people want to hear us talk about it, so we're gonna give it to them. Montgomery, Alabama, stand up to 334. You heard me?
334.
You feel me?
God,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out, man. Shout out. Everybody already done gave their takes on it, but we're gonna slide through and give our little takes, man. Apparently,
talk to him
more. Ship named Harriet, fitting name, was trying to dock.
The ship was named Harriet. Was trying to dock.
Yeah, and the ship was named Harriet. Was
trying
it Harriet
to dock.
Tubman or just Harriet?
Just the Harriet.
Yeah.
Harriet without the T.
Yeah.
But
it was called the Harriet. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Ship called the Harriet was trying to dock in its designated location, and a family of drunken individuals were screaming its obscenities, shooting birds, and doing other obscene gestures. And just basically on the dock, they were in the way of the ship of the Harriet docking, and they were the ship was trying to dock for about 45 minutes. They eventually got word out to security to come try to tell the family to move. When security confronted the family, what I'm missing?
He wasn't security.
Oh, he wasn't security.
He wasn't security.
So okay.
Oh, what
he
was
the co-captain.
Oh, so how did he get off the ship?
Come on, man.
There was a 16-year-old boy that also worked for the ship or whatever.
Right.
That brought a separate little boat out.
Oh.
To get the co-captain off the boat.
Oh.
That actually makes
him out to get the people to move. This not the 16-year-old boy we saw swimming, but a 16-year-old white guy.
That's when they said about the 16-year-old white employee. I heard that, but I was in and out. I was just like,
that actually makes a lot of sense, because if they were waiting for 40 minutes, you'd have more than enough time to bring a boat over there, get off the boat, and try to go back over there.
So cool. So the co-captain, not security, approached.
Yeah, it was the co-captain that throwed up the hat now.
And the family of drunken Caucasian individuals proceeded to jump the man, beat him, punch him, and stuff like that. After that, a hat was thrown, which can only be described as the new international Negro symbol for "come whoop that ass."
Yes, sir.
And
the beacon was lit.
The beacon was lit, and niggas came to and fro. If that was a black woman coming around the mountain, she would have came. Everybody came to whoop that ass, and it was a scene. It was a horrible scene. It was a scene.
All I could think of when I saw that was you guys know Tom Segura?
No.
He's a comedian, pretty funny. He has this one bit, and he's saying that he wishes that he could be and I'm paraphrasing because it's been a minute, so he might have been exactly this, but the joke was basically like, I I wish I could be black because I'll never understand the love. It was like someone could be getting jumped and attacked, and someone will come and help you. They don't need to know you just because of the color of your skin. And he said, as a white dude, I would never help another white guy out. He said, fuck that guy. And he said it, but black people, he's like, there is some type of like brotherhood to where like, if you're just like, he's like, doesn't matter who it is. He's a black dude. They're going to pop out of the woodwork to come help. And that's exactly what happened. All I can think of.
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not necessarily what happened.
Not necessarily, but in that instance, that's what like I said. It just, I was relating that joke, but
they were actually, majority of the people that were actually fighting were the crew members from the ship. So they were all worked under that captain.
Yeah, like the one who jumped in and all that stuff. But there was some other there were,
and shout out to
later though. But
shout out to the. I mean, he's gotten plenty of shout outs already. But shout out to the 16-year-old little bruh that swam. Jamaica. Shout out to you, homie.
Phelps.
Jamaica Phelps.
That was the other one I was telling you about. Jamaica Phelps. That was it. I told you, man. They got some good. They were calling him Aquaman.
Shout out to you, little homie. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if your parents, are proud of you for doing it, because I know my folks would have been mad as fuck if I jumped into some shit like that. But you use a brave man.
He made history. First black man to swim to a fight.
Yeah.
His parents were definitely proud. They released a statement.
He legendary for sure.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Turn up, man. Turn up. But obviously that highlights a whole host of other issues that I think that need to be highlighted. One of those issues being, I saw a post that said not too long ago, they would have got away with it. And I think that people watching around the world that might be a little confused about the intense reaction from the black community and around the world, because I mean, it's not just black people, because I've seen reenactments of it where white people joining in on the thing and doing the reenactment. Somebody did it by their pool, somebody jumped in the water and swam to the fight, and it was like 2 or 3 different separate reenactments of what was going on, just them trying to be funny or whatever. But the serious topic is that that is a talking point, and even if it's not said aloud, that's a thing in the collective conscious of black people. The idea that a while back they could have done that and got away with it, and it would have been people who, whether you deem them racist or not, would have automatically sided with them. You know what I'm saying? And that would have just been a beat up black man.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits was definitely them having the whole video from start to finish.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you see things like that happen, whether it's a cop assaulting somebody or whatever it is, they're always saying like, well, what did he do in the very first? Or like, what did he do? Like, they're always, trying to defend whatever the situation is. And sometimes the other person is in the wrong and you don't see the whole video, but not all the time. But I think that's another good point, that we were lucky to have all of it in one, so they could be like, man, that dude was literally didn't do anything wrong.
Even the chief of police said that, because everyone got released the night of. It wasn't until the video surfaced that they were able to go back and charge them with that, because based on the statements, they didn't have enough evidence, because everyone's statement was just everyone's word against everyone's word. Right. So after the videos came out and the officers got wind of, okay, this is what really happened, they were able to go back and charge the individuals that needed to be charged.
Yeah. And I think another thing that we don't give enough credit, because I haven't seen anybody say this, but with all of the intense chair throwing and beating, nobody died. You got to think about it. This was a large body of water, fists and feet flying, chairs being thrown, and a racial incident, whether you want to believe it is or not. I mean, even if it isn't like a consciously racial thing, it was 2 different races being involved. And as I said earlier, if it wasn't racist on the white people's side, it most certainly was a racial thing for the black folks. Like, I mean, like black folks seeing some white folks jumping on a black man, like, regardless of how you want to feel about it, to the black folks, that was a racial thing.
It was straight racial as hell.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So with all of that big accumulative cocktail of bullshit, nobody died.
Nobody. It was no deaths. No deaths.
It was a lot of black eyes.
It wasn't
You saw that man with the fucked up nose. He said, I guess that 62-year-old man could really fucking throw him.
Fucking with the bros out there.
Get out that man's face, yo.
So, does anyone know exactly who all they arrested? Did they arrest the whole family, or was it just the guy who threw that like first punch?
It was 4 people. Do you remember who? Do you remember?
And then the lady, one of those ladies, ended up getting charged with assault as well. So a
Okay,
total
cool.
of 5. It was 4 guys, and then one of the ladies ended up turning herself in. So I guess they put a warrant out for her.
Yeah. I have a clip that I want to play of the man, the chair wielding vigilante, who bestowed justice to this situation with his chair of justice.
I don't know if it's vigilante is the right word. Maybe anti-hero.
No, vigilante. He was trying to get justice. That's vigilantism. That's vigilante. He was trying to get justice.
Didn't he hit that
The
old
chair
woman
of
with the chair?
justice. It's that whole link, baby. Yeah.
Mr. Mo, the lady that you hit, she was just walking by. She was about to probably get a cold drink, and you just popped her. Why?
Yeah, I blacked out. I blacked out. Emotions was running high. And all I remember when I saw that lady, all I could picture was that day they wouldn't let Rosa have a seat. So I gave her ass a seat.
Damn.
So as I said, like for all of them black people involved, it was most certainly a racial thing.
I mean, before the hat throw, it was somebody that came and they tried to truck Cuz before he even threw the hat. Like it's so many videos like that.
Yeah.
That beginning, like it was a whole different person. After the hat throw, there was a whole different person that was trying to press him. Like you feel me? He had already got hit before he even threw his hat. That person was already like behind him or something. He was gone, but he had hit him like 2 or 3 seconds.
And I don't think that y'all understand. Like we all have like hair. Everybody on the podcast has a head full of hair. When you don't have hair and someone slams with the might of a Greek demigod a chair on your head, like bruh, like
that shit, hey bro, it's gonna rock you, bro.
I'm talking about man did that with the might of a Greek demigod. He looked at and that lady.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you one thing that I know.
Look at Shorty.
Like, bro. Like, bro. I know he probably said that he blacked out, but I don't believe in this shit. I don't believe in
nose.
She looked like Usopp from One Piece.
Let me see that nose.
I don't believe in no motherfucking blacked out. He saw that bitch and he put it all.
Nah,
force.
he blacked out. No, nose.
Hey, one.
No.
He caught back the chair, slayed her ass. Let me stop talking about these people like that.
You know when you play Super Smash and you hold down the button to charge up the hit, to charge up the lick, and them sparks and shit start flying for a brief moment before you just. Yeah, he let that bitch down. He had the baseball bat.
You know when you get when you get the bat and you hit him with it.
Little king.
This shit stupid as fuck.
He hit her ass. The man came and said, "Game."
I was like, "Hey, bro, you sent me that shit." I was scrolling. And I said, "Damn."
This is in memes and things, yo. Go down to Luther, Luther. A chair, still a chair.
Hey, bro, get what's so crazy, man. Black person invented the folding chair, man.
Yeah.
We started this shit, Buddy ended this shit.
Yeah. We got to chill with the Tims.
Not the chair. No, the chair.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Y'all can't even see that one for real. Yeah.
No. First 48, bro.
Yeah.
But look, man. Bottom line is though, man, for the incident that happened and the way how it happened, and for all the black people that came in to help, because I mean, hell, from the video, man, Cud got hit. Another Caucasian man pressed him. He threw the hat, but he hit him. He tried to grab him. Then 4 or 5 other Caucasian men came up. Then we see the person that come down. He tried to stop the fight. He didn't even jump in. Buddy didn't even jump. The first black person that pushed up didn't even jump in.
You right.
He didn't even jump in. Buddy tried to still try to neutralize that shit. And that's just being 100 about it. But them people were still slinging, banging.
And reports said that that same family has been troublesome every year.
Every fucking year, huh?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
every time that they have that, they
just
say
racist,
that same
bro.
family.
Yeah, they just racist as hell.
I'm not disagreeing that I'm not.
Cause it has to be because you went all 6, like what 4, 5, 6.
They could just be bad people, but I'm not saying that racism ain't a part of that. I'm just saying.
I want to say, and I'm not. Let me finish before everyone attacks me.
I wasn't done. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Continue. My bad. I wasn't trying to interrupt. My bad. I didn't know you weren't done. I thought you guys were done.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I'm not saying wasn't racist, but I'm not saying it was either, because I look at it this way. Yes, they jumped him, and it could be the whole family and stuff like that, and I'm thinking it from, again, I don't know this family. We are in Alabama. There's a lot of racist people.
Because I was so about to ask you.
No, like I said, but I'm trying to, like I said, I try to look at every possible avenue before I just come to a thing. Now, the thing you're saying is probably accurate, but there is other things I just want to talk, because it is a podcast, the debate. Let's look at all the avenues it could be. Because if this happens and there's a family, because they were all family that it happened to, and the one dude, because it was like a one-on-one for a minute, and then he saw his dude lose it, and then they jumped him.
No, listen, it wasn't no one-on-one, because if you see the video before the hat throw, you will understand. Okay, so you seen. So what happened to the first Caucasian man that hit him first? When he had the hat on?
That's what I'm saying. That's who we got into the scuffle with. It was
another man.
Hold on. Hold on. I think y'all arguing over semantics. Get back to what you were saying. What point were you trying to make?
So I was saying that if it was black person, same situation, and say he was fighting, it doesn't have to be a white person. The other person could just been black as well. But we've all seen it. As soon as someone starts losing, a lot of times their homies jump in, and then they all jump that other person. And it doesn't look racial because it's all the same race. And I feel like the same thing could be said for white family. If it was a white dude and another white dude, and he was with all his families, and he starts losing, all his family's going to jump in. It doesn't look that way. Now, again, I say that to say, now I'm not saying it wasn't racial, but I am saying that is also a factor that people should look at. People can look at, because I've seen plenty of fights, black and white, and people jump in all the time when it's like that. And it's not, like I said, like Juan said, I believe it definitely said, even if it wasn't racial, it was definitely racial for the black people, because there's a lot of different stuff to it.
And the thing, the nuance to the conversation is understanding this for black people and white people. I think that it's like we suck real bad at adding nuance to conversations. Just because, and let's just for the sake of conversation, let's not talk about this scenario, but let's just make up a fabricated scenario with the same kind of trimmings, where a white family jumped in, like you were saying, to protect or try to help out somebody else that was involved in a scuffle. And let's just say that this is a liberal white family that supports Black Lives Matters and all of the twists and turns. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if there is no racial malice from the white family, because it's an interracial altercation. It will always be a racial incident.
No, I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
And so I think that's the nuance that people aren't able to articulate. You know what I'm saying? That is just like, even if that's not the case, it's a racial incident to the degree that to one or both of those parties, race played a part in how they reacted. You know what I'm saying? And so, because once again, regardless of what we want to say, the black people reacted because for us, it was a racial thing.
So I completely agree with everything you just said. And I think that was the point that I was trying to make. There's like a nuanced thing of like,
right.
It's gonna, where it totally could be racial, but even if it wasn't, it's still gonna end up being racial.
Right.
Is what I was trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And with a situation like this, I hesitate to I hesitate to judge people as strictly like, oh, they're just racist, because when you say they're just racist, like that's the only thing no, they were bad people, because correct me if I'm wrong, was the captain white, baby? Do you know?
The other captain?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because from what I understand, they were being obnoxious to everybody.
So like all them white people that was involved was just family members of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
everybody on that boat was family.
Group. Yeah. There was only like 7. There was like 7 or 6 of them or something.
So you mean so how?
Now,
Buddy wasn't losing either. Like the white dude, the initial fight, it could be said that he was really about to win because the co-captain, I mean, he was clearly older.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So he was holding his own for sure. But like, if you look at it, his shirt was ripped up.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? He was low key about to take an L.
I only say that because in the video where the other guy jumps in, he's like holding his neck down like this, and it looks like the co-captain has the advantage. But it does look like it could go either way.
Either way, you know, people just gonna do that. Like, people gonna if I saw one of y'all win in a fight, I might jump in and just get a lead. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, Fred, hold on. Let me you know what I'm saying?
Let me get some.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let me mack it. They won't tell the difference. They can't take
to that point though. So I just thought of something. So same situation, same scenario, but how do you think? Just like as a fun hypothetical, how do you think this plays out? If the same thing happened, but instead of a bunch of black people that helped them, it was a bunch of white people that jumped the other person's ass, the other family.
Probably the same way. It just would have lacked the racial element.
It would have, but do you think it would have also been strong because they were like, oh man, all these white people got
because at
the
the end of the day,
it wouldn't have been
white people jump some white people.
No. I'm saying if there was a black dude still getting jumped, but instead of black people coming to help the other black guy, it was a bunch of white people fucking up the other white family. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think
they would have been invited to the cookout.
That's what I was saying. What would have been the thing? Because then you'd have been like, "Oh man, y'all really do like Black Lives Matter."
It may or may not have been as big. Because I'll be honest with you, when I first heard about this story, I didn't understand why it was so big. I was just like, because fights happen all the time. You feel what I'm saying? People do stupid stuff all the time.
It did get to a point where the brawl was pretty big.
Yeah, and I understand that. And I understand.
But that was up there.
I saw a meme that said, "I'm gonna tell my kids this is the Boston Tea Party."
Yeah,
that's the first thing I saw. Was just like, I was like, "What is this?" And then I found I went and searched it up. I was like, "Oh,
but, yeah." That was my question hypothetically. Like, do you think it would have the same impact? Do you think it would have just been mulled over if it was a bunch of I
don't think it would have lasted this long. I don't think it would have lasted this long. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think that it probably would have got some buzz. But I don't think it would have lasted this long.
But I also believe what Fred said. They'd have been invited to the cookout. That's probably where it would have ended.
I think we should also speak to we should applaud the what was it? The slow reaction of the police officers.
Yeah.
Anybody notice how
that first video?
She had the mace in her and she was like,
that's why I said that's why I thought the one dude who hit him with the chair was gonna get arrested because the police officers weren't doing anything until that person hit him with the chair. Then they tackled him. There was like 3 or 4.
I feel like when they got him down, he was subdued already, and they just sat there and just kept him down. It was like, I'm gonna let the rest of y'all niggas do what y'all do because they had to look like they was doing their job.
Because I saw that lady and the other guys come up, and they were like, you seen the ones where it's like they got the Marvel portals where the black dudes are coming out. Y'all seen that one where they got the portals, the black dudes coming out? It's like 2 of the white dudes and like 6 of the black. Yeah. You see the cops behind them, and they just like, I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't think a lick of mace got sprayed.
Probably not.
I ain't seen. Even the white cop was like, I don't know.
But I mean, yeah. Long story short, though, like if you see some niggas skipping towards you, bro, just get out the way, bro.
And shout out to RC Hatch. Everybody keeps saying the Q dog. That was the Q dogs with their purple and gold. That was RC.
That was RC Hatch.
Class of 1975 reunion.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you one thing I know for sure. You don't fuck with nobody from RC.
You don't
fucking
fuck
Hatch.
with
You don't fuck with no.
I don't know who y'all are, but shout out to y'all.
Hey, look, you do not fuck with RC Hatch. RC Hatch, shit.
RC Hatch.
I swear to God.
Shout out.
We done got to a minute fight.
Hey, we ain't fucking with RC.
We ain't
fucking with RC Hatch now.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to war with you, but fuck, we do. Hey, or not RC Hatch, like.
Shout out to RC Hatch.
Niggas that's living in RC Hatch and like still surviving, like you legendary, bro. You straight on. You can survive anywhere in any place on earth. You got it.
You were talking about how people have been treating you different since this thing started. What were you trying to say?
Man, man, I mean, like the servant aspect, dealing with people every day, dealing with different races every day. You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of like once you do it for so long, it comes to a certain medium about how you perceive what people probably gonna say, what people want, how people gonna like what they gonna say next, or when they ready to eat. When you gonna know when they like ready just to sit down and want to have a conversation with their person, or you gonna know that they just ready to eat. It just come with the territory, you know what I mean? But from doing it for so long and understanding how like how people like how people just treat me just out the gate. You know what I mean? And it doesn't leave a medium. Like, this is a standard, and it just goes up. Cause I mean, you know what I mean? You come correct, you're gonna leave correct. You know what I mean?
And you're saying that people now, since
this
you feel a change in the energy.
It's a change in the whole. Yes, it's a change in the energy. Everything that fucking damn near shift. Like how they, and I'm talking about Caucasian people.
Do you feel comfortable saying, and you don't have to, like, what type of restaurant it is?
Upscale.
Because that does change the thing.
It's an upscale.
Because more upscale people tend to be more like
it's an upscale,
snobby too.
It's an upscale. It's an upscale. And they always treated me from the time I've been there to the time now. Like nothing has faltered.
Oh, I'm not talking about the staff. I just meant
I'm just saying. I'm talking about the guests, the civilians, almost like it's a medium. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how like. The simple responses on how I would come to a table and I give my speech, and at the gate in more than 2 to 3 seconds, you're smiling at me, and I'll smile back because I come with Southern hospitality out the gate. You hear me? You know what I mean? Like, come correct, you leave correct. You know what I'm saying? So, as of now, the walk to the table and the looks, they side eye you, and then they look down. That's their first interaction. Just out the game, I'm like, dang, why are you doing that? By the time I get to the table, I say, hey, my name is. People look up, hey. Then I had to keep on going and keep on with the interaction off of the simple fact that they didn't happen. If it wasn't, if none of this didn't transpire, they come up, hey, hi. It's all of that. You know what I mean? It's straight into it. But now it's that. You know what I mean? Like it's
so you've just noticed a change in the energy
a fully change. Now I wouldn't say nothing about it.
Has this taken place over the span of some days or like?
Yeah, since it happened, and I went to work all up until now, it's still the same thing. It hasn't changed. So I'm thinking that even like the situation, how the things like even the memes and everything, it just keep getting deeper, keep on. Yeah. That's why, you know what I mean? It's just, but how people prejudge and perceive things, you cannot. Just for things that didn't transpire, you cannot hold it against anybody or any else.
I think that we got to be careful with. I think that we have to be careful with how we. And this is the perspective that I'm speaking from. The person that knows the most has the most responsibility in the room. And with what I'm about to say, this is why what I'm about to say applies.
Go ahead.
So. We just have to be careful with the way that we morally judge people when we don't have access to, and sometimes we just never will have access to exactly what that person is feeling. Because what might be coming off to you as them being like judging you, they might feel insecure.
I was about to say it sounds like shame.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, it might be that.
Or fear. Like they feel like, well, if niggas acting like this.
It might be.
We not gonna
exactly
because you got to think about what I was like, because what I say all the time about the overcompensation thing, like, because I've seen some stuff that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like the videos of people in stores acting like they're gonna hit white people with the chairs and stuff like that. Like that's a little too far for me. But that's the overcompensation thing that I'm talking about, because that could never happen the other way around. Like we being a buck about it, gun barrel straight, that can never happen the other way around. But because people are afraid to say something about it, and because nobody actually is in a position to say something about it where they have a moral high ground, because no white person can come and say nothing about it because you don't have the moral high ground in this because of the racial dynamic. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the overcompensation. You know what I'm saying? That where it's just like, and that's why I'm saying that we have to be careful, because they see that and they don't know what to do with it. Because what can you do with it? Shut up. And that applies around the board to people who have been oppressed. It's like when it gets to a certain point to where they have the high ground, ain't nothing you can do, but all you can do is shut up. And when we are in that situation, we don't like it. We hate it. We lash, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. That's why we just got to be careful with how we judge people, because a lot of times what we might look at them and be like, oh, they funny acting, they this, that, and the third. They might be scared, bro.
To be honest, most racial situations, like traditionally, historically, whatever, people may not like it, but they're more or less debatable. You know, there can be more than one side to each story, regardless of what situation you want to bring up, because like you were saying, most of the time when the cameras start rolling, it's after the initial spark has already happened. So we catch the result of whatever catalyst caused the situation. But this situation, we pretty much got a really full picture, so there's not much debate about it. So I feel like, whereas most of the time, if there was a white person that was, or even a black person that was kind of, I guess, narcissistic, pompous, whatever you want to call it, they would be offering their insight on the situation. Oh, how do you feel about this? Oh, what do you think about that Trayvon Martin situation, huh? Yeah, it's messed up what they did. George Floyd, blah, blah, blah. They persecuting these police officers because they can put their opinion, they can put their spin on it. But this is, you don't have a way to spin this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what these people did was wrong. Because even if whatever happened, like, even if dude said something disrespectful, even if he was doing his job, he did what he was supposed to do, what he was getting paid to do. They were in the wrong. So everything that happened as a result of what they did,
and they hit him first too,
really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, really came at him, and when there was no even reason for it to get physical. Move your shit. You know what I'm saying? But now everything that happens as a result of that, you deserve it. It's like, what do you say? You deserve everything that come with this. So
I mean,
I think that's probably what you're experiencing with the people that are, and it. I mean, honestly,
and that's just.
It's still cool, because I mean, it is what it is. I recognize it and I let it transpire. But after 15 to 20 seconds, I gotta keep talking to you to make you understand what it is and that I'm true. Then you let everything else down. You let down all the walls and the guards. You feel me? You go into your natural state. You say, okay, cool. But I do ride that fine line of damn near black and white off of my skin.
Did the tips
how they
change?
receive me. After I keep talking to them, no, it goes straight back to them.
That's automatic.
Wait, I was finna say that's all.
It goes back to, but it's just the simple fact of going to me having to do that when it shouldn't need to be. I shouldn't have to do that.
I understand.
I shouldn't have to recognize your walls that you got off of things that didn't transpire, and I have to knock them down for you to be more comfortable. When you could have came to me and came here comfortable enough, and then proceed.
You can't expect that from folks.
They gotta grow. They gotta go beyond that bullshit.
But I mean, you got to think about the position that they're in. Like I said, you don't have the high ground.
But then goddamn, you gonna come to this establishment and you think I'm gonna be spicy and
but
heavy.
Look,
That's different.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna try to elaborate more on the position that they're in. The same position that they're in is the same position that straight people feel like they are in. The same position that white men think that they're in. Where it's just like, at one point in time you had the high ground and you no longer do. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, now you're trying to figure out where your place is. Like the scariest thing in the world for anybody, H.P. Lovecraft, I think, said that it might not be H.P. Lovecraft, it might be Stephen King, but the greatest fear is the fear of the unknown. You don't know where you stand. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're expecting people who are, at the end of the day, biological creatures that still function off of biological processes to fight against the fight or flight or freeze, fight, flight, or freeze. They're not gonna fight against that very well.
Now, well, I will agree with you saying, it's like, no,
they need to be better.
No one should do. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I ain't
disagreeing with
like they need to be way better.
They need to be better.
It just can't. But it just cannot be.
But to Juan's point as well, is like, you can't expect people to just, like, over years of, like, hundreds and hundreds of years of like social programming to just be like, that's like going up to a girl and she's like, oh, I have trauma about my ex used to hit me and this and that, and you'd be like, well, don't. Just stop. Just get over it. Like, and that's kind of an over exaggeration in terms of but in terms of, like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's a concept.
The concept is the same thing as basically telling them, is like, well, don't be insecure about this. Don't feel awkward. Like, telling, like, white people, like, don't feel awkward around black people, because they like you said, because they could be ashamed of that stuff. They could be in an awkward situation. Maybe they are afraid. Like Juan said, you don't know how their day was. They now again, all being said, you are right. They shouldn't let that affect them, and they should look at you as a human individual that, just like, I just met you. This is how I should act. I should treat you with respect because I don't know you. but we don't live in a world that clear. Like it's not that black and white. Right. It's very much like I said. Everyone's gonna go into things with their bias, even if it's the tiny bit of bias. You sit down into what do people make the jokes about all the time? You could be the best black person in the world. You could be awesome. But, people make those jokes for a reason where they, like, you answer the phone call and you have an interview and they're like, I don't know if I want to hire Don Quavius. Like, they're
shout out to every Don Quavius out this bitch.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out, homies.
Is that, no, for real. Is that not a judgment before they even get to know you? Before you even speak, they're going off of just hearing that name. They've already had a million things running through their head now and assume that about you. Now, they shouldn't. You were completely right. They should not do that. But you hear a name like that, you gonna have some of your own stereotypes and things come up as well.
At the gate, me being honest, I'm gonna say we need to go holler at Dunn and see what he is. You know what I mean?
But bro, you can't say you from the trenches and then try to like plaster that on motherfuckers from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like people from the burbs, they ain't trying to hear none of that. It's just like
so that's all I'm gonna say on that one.
And on top of that, the other thing that I didn't highlight in my previous whatever the fuck I was trying to say is was unfortunately it could potentially get to the point, I'm talking about overcompensation.
Go ahead.
That you have to do more work now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing to think about, because it's just like now we can carry on, and this is for every group of people where you can look at your people and be like, okay, we overcompensating here. Because in order to like kill that overcompensation, it's gonna be up to you.
Can I piggyback off of that real quick?
Yeah.
So, like he said, the overcompensating part makes a lot of sense because, like, as black people, you have to do, and you've probably seen some of these quotes that you have to work 10 times harder.
What's wrong with this man, bro?
Hey man, I'm so tired. This side of the room coming at me, bro.
No.
I agree. I don't know what the hell going on. This black power coming forever. And my back, bro. Every time I
y'all
good. Y'all talking shit. I'm just talking.
I agree with partially what you're saying.
Hey, I can't even get a swing in. Guess where you coming? Tag. Boom. I'm like, damn. God. Like shit. Like I'm getting rocked it's just on that side. Hey Fred, philosopher Fred, thank you for being.
But it may not. But
you good.
Let me. I'm my bad. Go ahead. Finish.
That was not my intent. But hearing him say it like that, I can see how I feel that way.
God damn. Go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say like that. You made a really good point because when they say you have to be. What did you say again?
I don't know what I said.
I kind of distracted me a little bit.
Did you say it, Fred?
Oh, you were saying you had to overcompensate. So
right.
That's why I agree with both sides, because it's like, because now where it's not fair is you have to now be so much better as yourself to make those people, whether they're white or Asian, whoever it is, feel at ease when you shouldn't have to. You're absolutely right in that. But like he said, it's like now you're having to overcompensate because it's like, I shouldn't be having to work this hard to like cater to you that much more when it should just be, we should be on neutral terms of just being like, hey, I'm so and so hot. So
then you come into this environment and you heat it, you spice it. But overall, all I'm saying is, I'm gonna leave it at this too. They need to be better.
Yep. You know what's crazy to me? I think that is interesting because you already had to do that.
Yeah, but not at that level though. And that's the thing though. Why I should never have to. Like the level that I had to bring it to, almost kind of crazy. That's why I'm talking about. Like it's shaky as hell because I know that other black people are not going against my peoples, but like black people, they're not gonna take it to that level to please you and to make you to throw down your walls because y'all walls are strong. Y'all are scared and shameful. Y'all. But for me to get around them every time, every trip, and I go through it like 6 times because most part where I'm at, I'm getting it like. But no, like once I go around, like no, like it comes to something's wrong about it. Now I look around like you can't do this, you can't. You probably can kind of shake it, but that's only if you want to. And that goes to where it's at when it shouldn't be that heavy. So my wall's heavier than a bitch.
Let me tell you who don't give a fuck about tearing down some walls.
Who?
Clarissa Shields.
Who?
Yeah, Shorty wanna box another dude. I don't think that we in society. I don't want to see, and I maybe I'm not progressive enough. This is where my other line is drawn. Okay, this is where my other line is drawn.
Not another one of these.
It's like because I don't want to see a dude hit a woman, and that's my prerogative, and I can just not watch it. I'm not saying that you ain't got to do it. I'm just saying that if you want to poll, if you want to do an Instagram poll of, hey, do you guys want to see this dude punch me in the face? No, I don't want, and I don't want to see you punch him in the face. Like, I just don't want to see that.
Hey,
All I'm gonna,
you know who that is?
That's about the story.
And then like Shields.
Yeah.
Who you think gonna win? My money on Shields, bro.
Like
who she fighting now?
We
First
all
off,
losing this fight.
yeah, like, bro, we talking about Shields. Like, I ain't even about in this straight boxing though. Shit, she got some hands. So like,
I understand that. I'm not saying that she don't.
got them hands, my nigga. She got them hands.
All I'm gonna say is this in terms of that. There are fight classes and different men and women divisions for a reason.
Yep.
They are for a reason. They are to protect. They're not to discourage. They're not to hinder. They're not to demoralize. They're for protection. I cannot stand when I see someone like say like they scream for gender equality and then they scream for gender equality, and which I'm all for, which I firmly believe in. But this is where I don't like the hypocrite, the double standards that come in. So this situation, we've all seen those things where a transgender man will, like, it happened with one of the swimming ones. A transgender man, you know.
You said it like it was a superhero.
Hey, look,
you said it like it was a superhero.
Don't look my way because I don't
transgender.
I don't want no parts of that conversation.
Who's coming to save today? Transgender man.
I don't want to get canceled. Hey, look. I don't want to get canceled. I ain't gonna laugh at what one time about that shit kind of crazy.
Hey, no, fuck that. Laugh at that shit. Hey, you imagine a superhero come out and just like, we was expecting Superman. Who are you? I'm transgender man.
Okay, that was funny, but don't make me forget what I'm gonna say.
Wait, but you can help.
Go ahead now. You better be.
But you're
be
talking
careful.
about. But you're talking about a trans woman.
Yes. Wait. Am I? No, trans man. Is that the right?
No, a trans woman is a bio male that transitions to a female.
That's what I'm. That's
you better be careful.
I know. Trans woman then.
Yes.
You want to bring that word into this? Go ahead, bro. Do your thing. Be careful though.
Oh,
you know you're allowed to say the word, right?
Transgender man.
I don't know what you're allowed to say.
Hey,
if anything, you should be getting on Warren.
Hey, look,
the one making superhero on there.
This is Warren. Look, stop. This is Warren's show. Go ahead, Warren.
Hey, look.
He over there making catchphrases. I'm trying to talk about
go ahead,
something.
bro.
Meanwhile.
Hey, look. No. Listen. You brought this realm up onto us. Like, you know what I mean? So I just want you to know when you're talking about this, you getting volatile with the conversation.
I'm not getting any volatile.
It get very. You gotta be.
I haven't gotten to start.
My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, scared the word.
It's
he over there yelling it like a comic book. And look in the sky. It's a plane. It's strange. Like, I can't even get to.
Hey, look, man. I'm just gonna.
Oh man, I can make a lot of jokes.
Everybody be getting canceled when they go into that realm. You know what I mean? I don't know what you about to say, but what I'm saying is, don't look for me to add on anything.
You don't have to add on.
You don't.
If you don't want to add on, you don't have to add on.
I didn't know what you were.
I just
want you to be careful, bro. Be careful now.
I just want to talk. Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Let Big C spit, man. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Go ahead.
So, might have to restate the whole thing. You're gonna have a long ass cut in between.
No. You got it.
Woman started fighting.
So I want to make sure I have it right. So a trans woman is when it's a guy transition to a woman, right?
Yeah, sure.
I want to have the right terms.
Yes. You crazy? Go ahead, my brother.
Trans woman or women.
So a trans woman, person that did the swimming thing, a bunch of cis women, biological women, got mad at him because he was winning all of these.
Got mad at her.
Got mad at her because she was winning all of these competitions and stuff like that. But just before that, they were saying that they should be able to compete with men. You are contradicting yourself when then you have someone that has now just a slight more advantage, even if they had, just or vice versa. And then like how many women do we see that have like testosterone, like that are women that end up getting like, even in weightlifting competitions, that someone was a biological woman and then transitions to a man and now she has testosterone, that they're upset that she's competing with them. Both ways, there's always a problem. But then you see things like this all the time and everyone's like, go for it, do this and this. And then they'll have they'll have a bunch of things saying like the basketball one. Oh, Juan has a question.
No. Go ahead. I want you to finish first.
Yeah. So then you have the same thing with the issue that you have basketball all the time. Like women like will say like, oh, they want to make the same as the men in terms of, and I'm not even gonna get into the whole revenue aspect of why that doesn't make sense. But you know, they will like they'll basically like say like, oh, we want to play with them, and then when they have the scrimmage stuff, they get destroyed, and then they're like, oh, I don't know why we can't play with them. It's like.
We gonna get killed.
No, I'm being.
It's just a difficult conversation.
It's a difficult conversation. There's NBA players that talk about it. Amon Shumpert has a whole thing where he literally talks about it, and he even says, and he's super supportive, and a lot of them watch the WNBA all the time. You know, the majority of the women always get mad about men for not supporting them in those situations specifically for that, but all of their viewership is basically all men, and it's a proprietary conglomerate that's basically funded by the NBA. The WNBA loses millions and actually maybe billions of dollars every single year. The only reason they're afloat is because the NBA backs them so much. They actually lose so much money, which, like I said, that's all. I can go into statistics of that later. That's not a whole different conversation. But all I'm saying is like, there's so many of these things that pop up which I don't understand, because I believe this truly and heartedly. If you want to say gender equality, then yes, mix everything. Mix them all. Mix the things. And no, for real. Mix them all. Mix the same thing in sports. Let women have to compete with the men in terms of track. Let them have to compete in terms of basketball. Take away their softball. Let them do baseball. Let them do all this stuff. Because then you'll have a whole new problem, and then there'll be an exclusion. So then they'll be like, okay, well, now have it just be the best athletes. It doesn't matter if they're men or women. And do I believe women can be better at men and certain athletes and certain things? Of course. But I don't like, I hate when that comes up, because the same people that are always like, yes, we should mix it, are the first ones in line saying, well, why did we do that? That's super unfair. And so if this person fights her and he wins, they're going to be like, he beat up on a woman. And if vice versa happens, they're going to be like, oh, well, he wasn't going that hard. He lost to a woman. It's a lose-lose every single time.
I think that, and this is what I was just about to slide in real fast. I think that we just haven't. There are certain groups of people in this country in particular that are trying to get a foothold on their culture. And because they don't have a foothold on their culture and they don't know where to draw the lines for their culture, everything is just kind of overlapping. You have some actors in some communities that are so extreme, and we look at those people and we say, well, look at this whole community and look at how they're acting, right? So like, for example, what you're talking about, I think that those are two different people on two different extremes. I think that they're the same kind of person, but two different people on two different extremes. One saying, hey, let's let everybody compete with everybody. And then you have the other people that are going to look at that and be like, well, why do we, you know what I'm saying? I think that they're the same kind of people, but I don't think that they're the same people. And the thing that I think that I want everybody to understand is you have some cultures in certain countries. I'm speaking about America. In America, white culture and black culture, for the most part, and Latino culture, for the most part, when you talk about the races, are pretty established. Black culture, we have Ebonics. We don't force white people to use our language. Black people, we take pride in who we are. And to some degree, we're even exclusionary with what we allow other people to participate in. Can't come to the cookout. Can't come do everything. You know what I'm saying? What I'm seeing is where these other groups of people, feminists, the LGBTQ community, and others, if I'm missing anybody else, I'm seeing where they're still kind of in the infancy of establishing their culture, and you still have this overcompensation by the extremists on their groups that haven't gotten to the point to where they've just taken pride in who and what they are and started to become exclusionary with what they have. I think that with those communities, there are certain things that I feel like they're trying to push for only because their culture isn't established enough, and they're trying to figure out where that line should be drawn. And to the extremists, there is no line. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what we're seeing. And I urge us not to be too harsh when we try to figure out, like when we judge the community based off of those people.
Did she want this fight though?
Yeah.
She asked for it.
She's the one who.
Do we know how many times she done ever lost in the ring? Do you?
I don't know.
Find out.
We can find out.
She doesn't lose though.
With
like,
that being said, I
lose.
think that people should be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Yes, I'm like,
which is why you need to mix it. Which is why
no. What I'm saying is like, being honest. If we really know who Shields is, I promise you, if the motherfucker not really him, she about to knock this bitch out.
Why would she fight a random nobody? She's probably gonna fight another boxer.
What I'm telling you, the boxer still better be him. It doesn't matter. He can be a regular ass boxer. Guess what she's about to have? Shields gonna knock him out.
And I don't
Shields.
doubt it.
We talking about Shields. Do you know who Shields is for real?
What I'm saying is you take her and you
don't
put
know
a
who
boxer.
she is.
I do know who she is. Well, I'm being realistic. I'm just saying, if you is it a joke that men are biologically stronger? No, that's a fact.
It doesn't matter with this right here.
What you're not
with boxing doesn't matter how strong you is.
You're not listening. Yes, it does. It 100% does. Boxing. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's why there's literally power hitting terms and things like that. I'm not. If she's fighting some random bum, then of course. But I'm saying if she's fighting another seasoned boxer, it doesn't need to be him. What I'm saying is, all right, I'll give you a prime example. I'll give you a prime example right now. Professional women's soccer league got beat by a group of 14-year-old boys. These were professional women who were, let me finish, professional women, soccer players. I'm talking about playing like the world, the cups or whatever it is for in Europe and stuff. Played the European boys in the same league and they destroyed them. They were toying with them. I say that to say that there is just to show you the gap in difference. So it does, even if she's really, really good, and I'm not sitting there saying that she wouldn't knock all of us out. Probably would, but I'm saying that's reason.
You can't say that and say your quote. It's too contradictory.
What I'm saying. Well, because we're not boxers. But I'm comparing.
You gonna compare her to that team? Is that what you're doing?
I'm comparing her to another professional. Which is why I compared those professional women to a group of kids. And you saw how smoked they got and the difference of the talent. What I'm saying to then elaborate on is that if you take someone, which is the exact reason why Floyd Mayweather, as good as he is, isn't jumping up to heavyweight. He would get destroyed. I don't care I don't care how if he's 50-0. You take Floyd Mayweather, you have the power, you have reach, you have the way, you have to take all of that and you put him against, say, John Jones or whoever it is
Tyson Fury
or something. He's going to get destroyed. That's why we have weight classes. That's why we have all these other things in place. And again, I say that because the professional woman boxer against probably another professional man boxer, even if she's destroying her bouts, someone who's had a few wins, it sounds mean to say, but if we're speaking in logical terms here, he probably is going to do way better than you think, but you're going to be distracted by that. It's the same thing what happened when like Ronda Rousey was really big and everyone was like, oh, Ronda Rousey will beat all these other like
this ain't Ronda, this is Shields. Shields is not
Shields.
But do you know her accolades?
Yes.
What she did.
What I'm saying, I'm not gonna sit here and argue. I'm not gonna sit here and argue.
What are two things that she did?
I'm not gonna sit here and argue and speak about her accolades. You're not listening to the point at hand I'm making. Floyd Mayweather, all these wins, all this other stuff. I know his accolades. I'm not gonna sit here and talk. All you need to know is, like I said, there is a reason weight classes matter. You can take Floyd, and you don't even need to put him against Tyson Fury. Put him against a mid-tier heavyweight boxer, and that mid-tier dude's probably gonna win 6'7", 6'6", whatever, how big he is, 280, whatever it is for heavyweight is probably doing it. Floyd Mayweather,
220,
whatever it is, versus Floyd, maybe 150 at 5'7". That other even though Floyd's way more seasoned, way better technique, eventually, just power is going to, that strength is going to overwhelm. And I'm not saying she wouldn't end up winning, because she still could be that person, but I feel like you're overhyping it more than it should be, and it'll be way closer than you actually think.
And I also think that it's just like, and I could be wrong about this, but I honestly feel like it gets to a point where you're chasing the validation of people that you shouldn't be chasing the validation for. Like, because your W over a dude will always be
asterisk by it.
It'll be an asterisk by it. You know what I'm saying?
Because of how easy or light he was.
Like, I think that it's almost like with music, it's like it's better to play a song that you know and play it really well that the audience might not know versus a song that everybody knows but play it horribly. It's like that same concept in the sense that to me it sounds better to like be like the best at what you are and what you're doing versus trying to come over here and be like average. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like once again, I think that everybody should be allowed to do whatever they want to do. I'm just talking about as far as like the mentality, the social consciousness that we all have as a society. When we think about this issue, it's always going to be an asterisk by it, and it's always going to be like it's just never going to be not yet. I don't think that we're there yet, and maybe this could pave the way for it, but I just don't think that it's ever going to be viewed as a valid fight.
The only way to pave the way is what I said earlier. You'd have to just mix it. You have to literally let everything be equal.
And I think that would, because that would destroy so many, like, so much stuff.
It would, but that's the only way to do it, is you'd have to literally be like, we're mixing all this stuff. And I could think of another quick example. Brittany Griner did the same thing when she was challenging DeMarcus Cousins. She was like, I could dunk, and he literally laughed her off the court. I could think of so many other examples.
The NBA did.
Yeah, they were like, no, she would get demolished. And they weren't being mean. It was just like and that's what I'm saying. There's so many instances where we have these women that are really good in their fields that they now have to challenge men to, whether it's because they're trying to get more notability or whatever it is, or whether it's attention, which I'm not saying that's it. But we've seen this multiple times. The last one was with Ronda Rousey. I mean, who was it? Conor McGregor she challenged or something?
Something like that.
Like, it happens all the time. And the reason they never accept it, because it's like, one, yes, if there was a chance that they got knocked out, that they would be very embarrassing.
It's not worth it.
And people would make fun of them. And the other one is that they would, even if they knocked her out, they're going to be made fun of for the dude hitting on a woman or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or the other one, that it would just be overwhelming, demolished, and there's no point for them to do it.
I'm going to keep doing this till everybody understands how deep the issue is. That's another reason why, like, the overcompensation thing is so dangerous, because, like, you can literally be in a situation where, like what you were just talking about, if I fight and I get knocked out, then I got knocked out by a girl. If I knock you out, then I knocked out a girl. Nobody cares about, like, genuinely, like, because some dudes, I feel like, maybe not some dudes, some people, maybe not pertaining to boxing, but in other areas, stress about that shit. It's just like, you done challenged me. You done put me in a predicament now where, like, I got to respond one way or another. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just, nobody cares, though, because nobody cares about men and what men are thinking and how men feel, because we don't have the moral high ground. And so I'm gonna keep highlighting this point until everybody understands that I'm right about what I'm talking about.
Look, at the end of the day, we cannot diminish what she is to have done. I
don't think we're doing that.
And the things that what she done won in the Olympics and what she won in her class of what she done done.
One of the first things I said was, I'm not diminishing women by saying that.
No, what you saying is that she would never win against a man. Hey, yo,
I did not say that. I literally
no.
He accepted the fight. So
no, look. So I'm gonna say this. Hold on. Can you bleep out name? If I say something, can you bleep it out?
Yeah.
All right. So I want you to bleep out certain names. I'll tell you then. You remember when we was in school and got the fight? Knocked him out when she rocked his ass in front and up in the lunchroom. That's the first fight I ever seen in my whole life, a man and a woman. So when people come to me and try to diminish things and what can ever happen, even in a fight, what you tell me, anything can ever happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I don't think
also
that anybody
just said that she could still win.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. No, like she would 100% not win. The concept is that it would always have an asterisk beside it. And there's always the possibility that you get into the ring and it just be another example of, like, you just being outclassed by. And once again, I think that's just because when you talk about a because we're talking about street fights here. When you're talking about a professional fight,
Yes,
it's like kind of what Fred said one day about we think that like NFL players are slow because we see them all running next to each other. We don't understand that all of them jokers out there running like 4.5s and shit like that. The biggest dude out there like smoking like some high school track star. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like we don't understand scale. I think that's the bigger issue. Like we don't understand scale, and it's not to say that because true, anything can't. Hell, a 7-year-old can knock anybody out if they swing his hand hard enough. But that's not the point. The point is you're talking about a skilled individual versus another skilled individual that's biologically just. And so let me say this. Men typically, not always, but typically have a higher density of fast twitch muscle fibers inside of their muscle whatever system.
They have denser bones too.
They have denser bones, and they just have a lower fat to body ratio.
Also, mass equals force, and that's like literally what they use for.
And
you need more mass.
The only reason
power.
the only reason I'm not bringing that in is because they're about the same weight. They're in the same weight class.
Yes.
So he can give them that. So we can.
But that's why I bring up the bone density and all that other stuff. So that also actually plays into it. On top of skill and things, which is why I was saying, you take two, like you said, professionals. You take the best basketball player in the world. You take, say, LeBron James, the best woman basketball player in the world. I mean, the best female basketball player in the world. Who are you picking? Take the best football player, man, in the world. I guess that one doesn't work since it's a team sport. Take the best track star,
golfer,
Usain Bolt. No, for golf.
But no, golfing is different.
Golf is different.
Yeah, golfing is different.
You take the fastest person, Usain Bolt, at the time against the other fastest woman. Who do you say is going to win? You go down the line in every profession, and if you're going to probably almost say men almost every time. And it's not you being sexist. It's not you being misogynist.
It's always a 50-50 chance that you can win or lose.
And I said that. And I said that. But in boxing and something like that, it is not 50-50. The term you're looking for is called a puncher's chance. Yes, she has a puncher's chance. And that's what I'm saying. If you're putting her against an amateur, then I believe she destroys him, even if it's a guy.
But we do got to move on though.
Yeah,
we do got to move on though.
He accepted the fight.
He did. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He accepted the fight, so
it's gonna happen.
We gonna find out.
We talking about
I really want to know more about his accolades.
Yeah, the dude looked like. I don't
even know his name.
Yeah. Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman for a fight at 154 pounds, boy. 154, boy. That's all right.
That's a crazy weight for a man.
Why did she call him out specifically? Do we know?
Because he's 154.
Because he's probably mediocre.
It's just
probably.
No. She I don't know.
Fred, you had that. You let us talk that whole time. You had that one in the chamber.
We all sitting here shooting BBs at each other. Fred got a 50 cal. Boom.
You over there talking about me talking about it.
You probably got a losing record.
See, I didn't even say all that. I was just saying.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I say you motherfucker better not walk in there playing with shields.
No, I agree. I think that we all.
I think he's definitely gonna respect it. I think he's definitely gonna respect it. Anyone with that type of thing, you're gonna respect. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
He better knock her out. Like,
you just said you wanted her to win.
I do want her to win.
Why you changing teams?
I did not. I said he better. If he don't, he's done.
He's 30-1.
He's 30-1. Oh, she went for the.
But hold on.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you something.
It's all about what that 30-1. Because some of these boxers got stuff stats.
True.
Let's keep it. Even some of the best boxers got stuff. Floyd Mayweather got some stuff like that. 50, like it's some question marks.
Does it
at least 10 of them?
Does it say how many of those?
But she a Hall of Famer with it. She always win gold. Also. Even when she started fighting, when she was like 17, 18,
well, we gonna
win the Hall of Fame.
We gonna see, but like I said, we do got to move.
2 of those wins by knockouts.
Does it say what the other opponents' records were? Like if they were like,
hey, look, fuck the other opponent. We talking about Shields still.
No, because he just asked that question.
That was who you just talking about?
If he
Keith Thurman got 20-something wins by knockout.
22 of those 30 wins
by knockout.
But how many of those wins in total did everyone have like winning or losing records? Because he could have all those people could have like losing records.
That's a lot of research.
That is a lot of research.
They usually say that though.
He beat someone that was 7-0. He beat somebody else, brutally knocked out somebody that was 29-3.
He a real deal.
He defeated the undefeated 6-0 Jamaican Omar Bell.
How come I haven't heard about this guy?
Yeah, he beat somebody else that was 10-7.
Oh yeah, you don't gotta keep reading. That's enough. He the truth. Yeah, he got all his wins and they all positive over like that. That's
yeah.
R.I.P. Shields.
We got a
make a hell of a Family Guy episode. It's like the first round. Ding ding. She out.
No.
Quickie fuck too. Family Guy. Shit.
No, we got to get out of here, man. Let's get out.
She could still win though.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
she could still win. Let's talk about this, man. We got to get down here to the rest of the segments of the podcast. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us this far, man. We gonna keep on sliding, man. This week's trash, we got to take out the trash. Take out the trash. What are we gonna take out the trash? Take out the trash. Trash bag. These motherfuckers right here, man.
Who invented the trash bag? But go ahead.
Somebody that didn't like the smell of trash.
This man.
What they used to do before the trash bag?
They used to take it outside. I guess just throw it out there. Probably burned it. Georgia doctor decapitated a baby.
No.
Decapitated.
No, we can't talk about this.
Decap, which means to remove of one's head.
Oh, he's giving you definition.
I know what this shit is.
The baby using excessive force in delivery. Now, I'm gonna be real quick about this because my wife.
Wait, this was during delivery?
This was during delivery. I'll explain it. I'll explain it first.
Can I just leave out?
You gotta sit here and listen to this. You're gonna take all of this. So what happened was no homo. What
I'm saying this over. No fucking homo. The hell? Go ahead, though, man.
No, but apparently, the family was ignored several times about certain requests during the delivery process. They were ignored about their request for a C-section, a cesarean section, or something like that. However you say that. And yes. And
sad case.
They say why they were ignored.
No, I don't know if we have that information. But
they was ignored though.
They were ignored. They were ignored, and she was applying pressure. I think the child's shoulder had already been dislocated or something like that.
Oof.
And so during the C-section, they removed the baby, and the baby didn't have a head, and the head, I think, if I'm not mistaken, still came out of the vagina.
I
wait,
because
it made it sound like, was it a breech birth?
No.
So the head would have, because the head comes out first when they're crowning. So
right.
The head would have had to fall, then the baby would have came out. But you said it opposite, so it made it sound like it was a breech birth.
But no, it wasn't a breech birth. The doctor apparently stuck both of her hands inside of the birthing canal to try to force the baby out.
Mm-hmm. And was probably yanking it like this, yes. And probably oof.
And supposedly, allegedly, it wasn't until 3 hours later that they did the C-section.
Yikes.
Allegedly.
Yikes.
Oof.
Yikes. That's a lot of time. Yeah, and
but the mom and dad were on like 19, 20.
I didn't know that.
So I don't think that they,
knew.
When you don't have experienced people, or when you don't have a support system, or a team of, what's the word?
A support system.
Advocates.
Oh,
when
okay.
When you don't have people in the hospital advocating for you that know better, it gets tough.
I mean, I would see. I don't know what happened in terms of like, because you said like they said denied the C-section, because sometimes when they do deny the C-section, it could be like a certain amount of like, is the baby? It's kind of the same thing with like an epidural. It's like once you like start having your contraction at X amount, they can't give you the epidural anymore.
I don't think that applies to C-section.
Because I'm not sure exactly how that is for C-sections, but actually there's my ex was worked in the nurse. She was a nurse. She's postpartum, so they worked so I kind of know some of the terms. But usually if they're refusing to cut you open or something like that, again, I don't know the reason. They could have just been like, nah, I don't feel like doing that today. But
or she could have just fucked it. And it took me, because I feel like you are where I was when she was talking to me about it, because it took her a second to like really like.
I'm just trying to get all the information.
Yeah, because I was the same way, right? But like from everything that I looked at, it's just like, this is a seasoned doctor. Like she's
exactly. So I don't think like a seasoned doctor would have been like. This doesn't sound like something that was tried to happen. Like we're trying to figure out why this terrible thing went this.
I don't
wrong.
think that matters. I think what matters is that after that happened, the hospital tried to cover it up. The hospital tried to cover it up, and it wasn't.
I told you it's a sad situation. You want to sit here and prolong about a little bit of detail. Go ahead, talk about the covering.
That's what do you think a podcast for? We're supposed to talk about this stuff.
And they
it is sad.
They it wasn't until they called like the funeral home flagged it because they didn't even see it. Like they when everything was said and done, they wrapped the baby and its decapitated head together to make it look like it was like which if you think about it hard enough. It's like only like somebody that's like that's something that the Joker would do. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
and it's pretty messed up.
And then they tried to convince these 19, 20-year-old parents that just lost their child to cremate the baby.
Yeah.
So they cover up the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that makes it more okay.
Yeah.
So the pieces are starting to come together. Why you were saying take out trash?
Because I was like you. I was just like, because my whole thing was this. I was trying to give the doctor, because she's a black lady, the benefit of the doubt.
I ain't give her no damn doubt.
Like you said, seasoned doctor.
Yeah, because I was trying to say that. Because the way that I look at people, like I'm a humanitarian. Like I look at people like what they are. Like people are reactionary creatures. Like, and it's very like this human thing that we got going on, this chivalry, this niceness, this societal norms, the social contracts, like all of that stuff is contrived. We had to invent that stuff to keep ourselves together because deep down inside we are reactionary creatures that just want to run from the first thing that pop off. We want to hit the first thing that make us mad. We want to eat the first thing that we see. We're impulsive. We're all of these things. So like I could only imagine like you like genuinely trying to think you know what you're doing, and oh no, this baby doesn't have a head. I'm going to do everything that I can to cover my ass. You feel what I'm saying?
I could understand the freaking out part, but like you said, there's no excuse for like trying to cover it up.
Right. But when we turn it back full circle, that's what I had to settle down and be like, but no, it doesn't matter at that point. Because the thing is, even because I'm a firm believer of this, just because something isn't your fault doesn't mean that it isn't also your responsibility.
Preach.
And so you have to be person enough to take responsibility for the stuff that happens under your direct. Yep. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah,
living by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword.
So yeah, we gotta take that trash out, man. And don't be with that shit. I hate when folks be like, "Dang, why she had to be black?" Dang, shit, man. Look, if we like, it's almost like what you're saying. It is what it is. Like what you were saying. Like we want equality. We want to be equal in this country and stuff like that. People gonna fuck up. Like that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like ain't no way around it. You gonna have.
But yeah, if you fuck up though, it's your actions after that shit.
Yeah,
there's no fucking way the whole fucking what hospitals did what.
And
everybody was on one accord.
It's more actors involved than just her. Her face is up there, but it's just like.
So you gotta think. You gotta think of it in the same terms of like. Now I'm not saying this is right, but you gotta know they do that. So in the same terms of like cops, it's called the blue wall for a reason. Like if you snitch, if a cop does something wrong and you snitch on that cop. Like all the other ones are gonna ostracize, stuff. Which is why in the movies and all the other times and things you see, they're like, oh, don't report. Why do you think they're always like, they say like cops don't pull over other cops and other things. Which
that's what happened to Christopher Dorner. Y'all remember him? Christopher Dorner. Christopher Dorner was he was ex-military. He I think it was LAPD maybe. It was LAPD. He snitched on a woman for. Police brutality. Apparently, she hit a guy in the head or something, or maybe kicked him. She told, and they essentially barred him. You know what I'm saying? They did the legal. They barred, and so like he lost his job, and he tried everything that he could to like get back, like to go through the ranks the right way and get back to his position, and they just wouldn't let him. And he wrote a whole manifesto and went on a killing spree and killed like I think it was like 2 or 3 successfully.
Oh, that took a dark turn.
Yeah, he had a hit out on all of these police officers and their families. And eventually they found him in a cabin, and they turned that cabin to Swiss cheese. It was every police officer in Los Angeles County probably came through and
wiped that bitch off the map.
And but a lot of people unfortunately looked at Christopher Dorner like with a little reverence, because it's just like, it's an example of what happens when somebody legitimately snaps. It's just like, you've done everything the right way, and you try to be this upstanding person, and this crooked system pushed this guy. Once again, you still got to take responsibility for it. I mean, you gotta, if you want to be dang, what's his name?
You can't commit an action and think it's not no retribution though.
No,
you just can't. But he did have brutality. You seen the shit. It was still talking about the same person, the police officer. Is that his name that ended up kicking that man in his face and hit that shit and busted shit?
What? No, player. What?
No. You talking about the woman that had snitched and told on the other police officer, right?
Right.
We talking about him, right?
The person that got snitched on.
Yes.
Right.
We talking about him, the police officer, right?
The police officer.
No.
The black guy, Christopher Dorner, snitched on a white woman for police brutality.
Another fellow police officer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's the same. It's like their code. It's like, which we got off on a tangent, but I'm saying is it's kind of like the same thing. I'm assuming in the doctor's office, which again, not okay, but it's like, oh, this is their doctor. We're kind of a fraternity or sorority or for brotherhood or sisterhood or whatever you want to say. I gotta protect their ass, so it's very. I don't know if firefighters have anything like that. I don't think firefighters.
But my wife also made a good point, because she was just like, you got to know that you got, like, I'm sure that those doctors have, like, say it, baby, like insurance and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, anyone in a profession of such importance to people has to have insurance. So whether you're police officers have those bonds, surety bonds. Doctors have these types of insurance. Teachers have these types of insurance. To protect them. So when I was in school for education, there was this process before we can even begin observing someone in the classroom. We had to make sure that we had the proper insurance in case something happened while we were in the classroom, just while we were even spectating. So, and they expressed the importance of having this insurance and being protected at all times. So for a doctor, I know that the same thing was stressed to them in medical school and throughout just regular school as well. So you saying that they was covered? Yeah. Oh my fucking God! You mean that they was covered any other way, and they still try to cover this shit up, and the head motherfucker that's over the hospital knew about this shit and still went along with it. That's wilder than a bitch.
Wait,
ain't no what we ain't know. Go ahead.
Accidents are
covered. They're covered, but I also still know. All right, so you're a teacher. If, God forbid something happens and a kid passes away, the school would probably still fire you just so they could be like, they cover their ass, because the parents are not going to like to see it. And this is all obviously hypothetical. The parents are not going to like to see it and be like, oh, well, this child died on her watch, even though it wasn't her fault, but we still have her at the school. Same thing with the police. When you see those things where they're like, oh, this police officer killed these amount of people, even though they were like unarmed. Usually you hear about something about like, maybe they got sent on unpaid leave or whatever, but then eventually they get fired or whatever it is, because they're always trying to clean house to where it saves their ass in terms of like, hey, look, it's not us, it's them. So I'm assuming they would have also, even if she had insurance, still fired her just so they could be like, oh, well, that was just that doctor.
There are things in place to protect those people, though.
Yeah,
and they didn't. There are unions and things of that nature in place to protect the employees as well. So
and she probably still could have got hired somewhere else pretty quick.
Yeah, but the thing is,
decapitate baby on your resume.
I mean, that's a part of being a doctor, though. I mean, not decapitation, but death.
That's a pretty big mess up, though.
It is. But if it were legitimately an accident, then I feel like it could have been.
It could have, but like you said, they screwed themselves over by trying to cover it up. So now it's gonna be in the murky water. If it's like, oh, was it not an accident in terms of like, did you do an error? Because it can still be an accident, but there's a difference between an accident and being
an
like
incident.
an incident. Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to think of.
Either way it goes, once again, I think the more, because once again, the nature of this podcast is to help people, get to we're trying to spoon feed you mentally on how to like judge shit. So at the end of the day, just because something ain't your fault don't mean it's also not your responsibility. Step up to that plate and do your thing, or else you're gonna end up looking worse and it come to light. I think that's the bigger issue.
Yep.
We're gonna skip down here real fast because we're gonna have to get ready to close it out in a minute. This week's notable person, I'm gonna be a little selfish with this week's notable person, man. This past weekend I had the unfortunate event of having my grandmother pass away. And I just wanted to highlight her for people back home because I don't come from a real rough background. And that was because of the work of my predecessors. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud of that. Mm-hmm. So just real quick, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to read just this small little part right here. Beatrice Geneva Bledsoe was born May 22nd, 1928. She was 95 in Chambers County, Alabama. She got her degree. She got a degree in a science degree in home economics, because that was a big thing back in the day. Mm-hmm. In 1957. She was a teacher. She taught home ec for 36 years at the Chambers County Public School. After she retired, she became, of the small town that only at the time had 200 and something odd residents, the first black and female mayor of that town. And then that wasn't enough. During that time, because you got to think about during that time, that's some shit to do.
I ain't lying, because they were just walking across the bridge not too long, huh?
Right.
Before after, like around it. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. She also married her childhood sweetheart that grew up to become, in the city right next door, the first black police officer, period, in Randolph Bledsoe. So you got the first black female and mayor of 5 Points, the city right next to it. The Fed, you got the first black police officer. And because of their hard work and what they did, I was able to have a podcast and bring you motherfuckers on without being a complete asshole.
West Side.
So, yeah, that's my notable person. Shout out to you, and we always love you, Geneva Bledsoe. Turn up.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. Gotta let the old people know that we still love them. You know what I mean? Above dirt, under dirt, we love you. All right. So, Tory Lanez got 10 years. This is I'm going. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about it. I heard people talking about they're making an example out of black men, rich black actors, because they said that 10-year sentence for shooting at Megan Thee Stallion was harsh, and I agree. I think that it's harsh, but I don't agree that they're making an example of black men. Because even if that's the case, like, they're trying to slam Trump, like they're trying to slam everybody. I think that we're just living in a very volatile time where it's just like, it's not the time for you to be of some importance and fucking up.
We're in a time of fucking around and finding out.
Yeah. Yeah.
with the chairs being thrown.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts about that. Do y'all have anything to say about it? Y'all cool on that?
I do think it's a little excessive.
Yeah, I think it's excessive. Sure.
But I mean, do celebrities ever really serve the full terms? I mean, they usually get out.
Not all.
R. Kelly gonna be there.
I can't think of one that hasn't.
R. Kelly gonna be there.
Boosie did it all his time.
Did it?
R. Kelly gonna be there.
She stuck on R. Kelly.
Well, R. Kelly got away with it for like 15 something years for like.
Yeah.
So he just doing back payments right now.
Yeah.
If we being honest, because they had him dead to rights.
How long does he have?
Oh, I heard like 30 years.
I was just gonna say.
But
That's wild.
it was like what? It was like
crazy.
I
They
think
gave
it's
Chaos
like
30.
multiple- I think it's like multiple sentences.
but again, like they had him dead to rights like years and years ago, like
Damn.
to where it's like the Boondocks and other places, everyone makes fun of it. Chappelle's show made like, I mean,
But I mean, that's a common case of everybody know what it is. Then when stuff going down, that everybody want to start pointing fingers when you was with the shit. Don't hide your hands now, bitch.
no. What I'm saying is just like
Yeah,
yes,
but-
same thing with the Bill Cosby thing.
This is a classic ass case.
Same thing with the
Let
Bill
it
Cosby
free.
thing. Came back like 30, 40 years after the fact. I mean, no one's safe.
It's kind of shaky though, because I don't want to get into it with too much of that, because I mean that was given.
He said it kind of shake, yo.
But
Yeah.
like I said, we're in the season of fuck around and find
Find
out.
out.
So they did this shit a long time ago, but now folks just
Hot take. You might get the big box for that. That's the hot take. Hey, you used to get try that in a small town.
Damn.
You feel me?
Try that.
That shit crazy.
I just heard that they had like insufficient evidence.
Yes, they did, man. This shit's stupid. You can't say
Are we still talking about? Are we talking about art?
I'm not talking about R. Kelly. I'm
Okay,
talking
that's
about
why I was
Tory
wondering.
Lanez. Yeah.
No, yeah, I heard like the way they described it.
Described
They basically
I do
sound
not
like
co-sign that.
and again, I could be wrong, but I remember it being like if you hit anything below the waist, it's considered non-lethal, and that's not attempted murder in terms of self-defense. And it looks like they said that she was drunk, and that actually that when they had it, that he was sober and she was actually drunk. Again, wasn't in the car, don't know what happened, but they said that they were tossing for it, and he took it from her, and it went off and shot her in the foot. I've never heard about anyone shooting anyone in the foot, so if it sounds like an accident spot to be shot in as well.
Then again, though,
what they said happened.
go ahead.
What allegedly.
Come on, a legend. Shout out to you.
He started shooting at when she got in the car. He started shooting at her feet, saying, "Dance, bitch."
Damn.
But you know what though? The thing is,
look,
hold
damn.
on, no. The thing is,
If that's really
the
what
only
happened,
reason,
yeah, he dead.
the only
He
reason
dead.
why I believe it is because
Shut the
of
fuck
his father. Do you not see how crunk this nigga's father is?
But look though.
Everybody at Rock Nation, he look like he ready to shoot at somebody's feet and say, "Dance, bitch."
So look,
It's like little man syndrome, but they got the little man syndrome head.
So cool.
They do.
That was the story. But look though, so when they come back though,
They got a heads like hors d'oeuvres.
But look though, Tory Lanez didn't have no gunpowder on his on his hands. He has no gunpowder. It still states today he never had no gunpowder, so he never shot no gun, never. But the thing is though, no matter how it goes, Tory Lanez he just got out. He couldn't be around guns or some shit.
Oh, he was on probation.
He was going to jail. I will say that he was gonna go to jail just because he's around this gun. He know for a fact he's supposed to be around this gun. But overall, when you come to me and the people saying, when y'all do y'all investigations, y'all do what y'all say do, and y'all come to me and say, "Is no gunpowder on it?"
Wait.
Or was it inconclusive?
How does that work?
I don't see.
If it can't be, no, not that. I'm saying, how does that work in the terms of you can't be? Is it you can't have guns? You can't be around guns.
You can't be around
because I feel like your whole situation, you could have a new argument for his lawyers or something. Would be like, I'm a famous celebrity. My security has guns.
It wasn't no security.
True. Oh yeah, he all screwed up now.
It was his gun, but look, this thing. If he didn't shoot that gun, but it was his gun, and that shot went off, who shot it?
But it wasn't even a what type of
who really
gun
shot
was
it?
It was a some type of what's it called? Like not a single shot, but a
automatic.
Automatic. Thank you, Jesus. It was an automatic.
She got shot with an automatic.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pistol.
But look, bro. But all I'm saying is though, if it's
that's what I'm saying. It couldn't have been automatic because the bullets they take her for would have been missing.
So I'm going back to what I said. Who was in the car? We know it was Tory Lanez, Meg friend, and who else was there? There was one more person that was there also.
Jesus always.
He probably did shoot the gun though, man. Because I mean, this is my thing, and I'm not trying to be that person, but like, I'm just trying to be fair. The way the dude act and the way that his family act, it just ain't too far. This is my point. It's not far fetched.
You know what the funniest thing?
Cool. I'm cool with that. But when you don't got no fucking gunpowder on your hand after you done shot a gun,
I think that was inconclusive. I don't know if there wasn't any at all.
I feel like there's also ways around that. I've watched a lot of NCIS.
But they ain't doing that. Like they just left the.
You
They
hang
just
with
left
them.
Kylie house.
You be dating them toxic women.
Yeah, he do.
Watching all
Well,
that.
like Drake said, man, a little attitude all good will make shit last.
All right. Let's slide real fast, man.
Gotta be a little toxic.
Let's slide real fast.
Semi-automatic.
Huh?
Yeah, so that means it has a switch. It can go back and forth. So yeah.
Okay.
So that
or it
just
can be okay. My bad. I was
What
trying
he
to get
said,
this.
Adriana?
it's a little toxic.
Dance, bitch. Dance, bitch.
See, I just want to say real quick, I didn't know that actually happened. The story I heard or the thing I read was that it happened. The shots went off in the car, and it looked like she left off video, and it looked like she leaves the car
There's so many
with
stories.
her foot shot because she's missing a shoe. At least from the videos and stuff I saw.
First it was glass on her foot. Now it's bullet on her foot. But go ahead, one. Go ahead. Keep progressing.
All I'm trying to say is that I don't know if y'all done seen it, but Lil Tay is not dead. For everybody that still believes that,
Who cares?
Lil Tay
She ain't dead.
is not dead.
My motherfucking nigga. West side. Pull the triggers.
I saw that, and
I don't
first
even
thought
know.
she was
I don't know. I don't know
So,
who she is.
she's
Somebody
not-
hacked
So
her.
look.
Somebody hacked her Instagram.
No.
And said that bombastic shit, that bombastic ass shit. She's not dead though.
I'm happy.
So I'm just so
Why? I mean, obviously, I'm glad a little kid's not dead, but I'm saying, what is it?
my G.
I'm saying because like she literally came off because she was she basically did all those like videos where she was like
But
where she was just flexing with a bunch of
But where
money,
she been at?
and then she dipped, and then they even asked, they said where
Yeah,
she's
where she
at.
been at? And now this thing we hear, she dead. She died. At first, I ain't gonna lie. First thing I
Well-
thought her parents killed her. That's the first thing I thought. I ain't even gonna lie.
I knew she didn't. I just always thought it was like, I think people were getting under her because there was a lot of pushback, and I could be wrong. But there was a lot of pushback, and I said I could be wrong about my reasons why
Man,
she
shout out
went
to
away.
my nigga being alive, man.
But we got some low bars out here. We're clapping for people still living. It's like ain't accomplished no goals in life, man. Shout out to still being breathing.
I don't.
When I come in next week, y'all better be like, Cordell sat down. Give it up for this nigga, bro.
Hey, nigga, you been reading?
I just don't fuck with death like that.
But no,
People
I
always
agree.
think that.
I'm not saying obviously I'm glad she's alive. I don't wish death on no little kid. But I'm
I thought
saying
she was dead.
But she did all that stuff. She was famous for nothing, just flexing stuff like that. She was famous for nothing.
Shot was cool. We like
Hey,
that.
I hope don't nobody ever say that about me. Hey, that man Whoop Man was famous for nothing.
She was a Kardashian.
No,
Real deal.
she literally. That's
Real
why she was
deal.
famous because people were for real. They were drawn to the fact that there was this little girl in people's rap videos just holding up a bunch of money. People started asking where the hell her parents were. And that's where there was a bunch of videos and stuff, because I remember when this happened. There was a bunch of people saying they were bashing the mom because they were saying, you're exploiting your daughter. Why are you letting her do all this stuff? She's cussing around. She's doing all these other things. So I think people gave her mom so much shit that she probably was like, all right, we kind of made enough money off of this. Let me take and try to go back because, and again, I could be wrong about the reason, but I know for a fact they were cyberbullying that mom because I saw the post and I saw the videos and they were giving it to her like serious about like, because a lot of people were like, oh, that's cool, little Asian girl, I got a bunch of money. And then there's all the other people that have people saying like, this is bad parenting, you shouldn't be doing this, yada, yada, yada. So I think that's probably why she went away, because she got a lot of flack for that. But again, that's speculation.
Long story short, stop cyberbullying, because like you hack somebody's shit and then say that's crazy.
I thought Shada was gone, man.
But that happens
crazy.
all the time. People
Yeah.
post celebrities, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
such and such died. And then you got to wait to see how many other people will be posting it, because you never do that. Like, you see someone die, it's like, I ain't gonna believe that until a bunch of people say. Like when Chadwick Boseman died, man, I remember seeing that. I'm like, ain't no way my dude died. Can't be real. And then I saw people.
I was at the shed when we found out, right? Yeah, it was you, me, and Malik.
Yeah, and then like you see a bunch of people doing this stuff, and you kind of gotta wait to get it verified, and then I wait till I hear like other celebrities saying it and people that actually were like close, and then I'm like, oh damn, this is real.
Yeah.
Because if regular people posting, people will just post. There's actually a statistic that says 70% or 65, it's one of the two, of people share things without ever clicking or opening it. Before even digesting that information. If you get something, say someone sends you something in the mail, there's a 70 or 60% chance. Huh?
Yeah.
They just like the title.
They like the titles, yeah. The thumbnails and titles, they'll see it, won't even read it, and then send it to people. It's like that's like a 70, 60 something thing. Happens all the time.
I feel like
they need to be fucking better.
Yeah.
I like when celebrities die. Like I don't care at all.
See, you're like me. Because I'm also that person that's like, I've never met this person in my life. I have no ties to them.
Damn.
While it's sad someone did die,
That's it.
It's sad someone did die, but it's like I hold no. I think we talked about this one time. I feel like the only time it actually can hit home for people really, is when it's like,
damn,
when they're like, I guess musicians is a good example, because you could be like, oh, I really love this musician. I listen to all their stuff. They helped me get through like a bad breakup. They helped me get through a time or something like that. Kind of. I can see that a little bit. But most of the times, it'll be like some random person you never heard of. They'll be like, man, Louis IV, Queen's cousin's nephew died, and everyone will be like, I love that nigga, man.
Like, maybe I just haven't lost like a celebrity that was close enough.
Yeah, like
I didn't grow up with them. Other than maybe like Kobe, but I didn't even watch basketball like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like sometimes, like I would never go make a post about it.
Yeah, like when Kobe died, it was sad, but a lot of people watched him going up basketball.
Chill out. Be careful.
I didn't say nothing.
I didn't want you to. I did not want you to. But hey.
I didn't say nothing.
I didn't know where the conversation could go. It was a 50-50 chance. I just want to exert like
everything 50-50 for Dre.
50-50
just get on my nerves seeing people do that. Like, I'm so hurt, bro.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
No, I was gonna say Kobe's a good one because a lot of people really grew up and resonated with Kobe, so that one makes sense.
All right, good job.
But I'm saying there's lots of other ones where it's like for instance, like I grew up on Will Smith. Will Smith died. I'd be like, damn. I got my Will Smith, like that sucks. But I'm not gonna come tear because I never met him. We weren't close. We weren't anything. And I feel like what you said. I feel like people go that extra mile.
I grew up on Chris Rock, bro. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
man.
honestly, like Bernie Mac, Chadwick Boseman, Michael Jackson, all of them. I was like, damn, that's tough.
Yeah, that
and
sucks.
I moved on with my life because they did not leave me not a single dollar.
If it ain't about the money,
I mean, no, he's not wrong. He's never met him in person. They didn't leave him. I mean, for real. But I feel like a lot of people do that for attention.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Like you said, you've never made a post about it. I've never once had someone die and make a post. Like, I feel a lot of people do that for attention. And I think there's one comedian that literally sums it up perfectly. His name is Anthony Jeselnik. I don't know if you guys watch him.
I've heard of him.
No, I ain't heard it.
He has this one thing that he says, and one of his things that he basically says, like, he makes fun of tragedies when they happen. And he explains why he does that. And he goes, you know why I make fun of tragedies? Because I hate the people that always say like thoughts and prayers. He says, you know what you're saying. He says, you know what you're saying when you're saying that, when you make those posts? Hey, I know this sad thing happened, but don't forget about me today. Even though there's awful things in the world happening, don't forget that I'm here. And I really feel that too, because I feel like so many times like I feel like there's genuine people actually posting because they like have real feelings, but a lot of times people are just like they just want to like just have something to talk about. Just like when you see someone post like a fight or argument where girls are like, I don't usually want this drama, but anyway, my baby daddy did this, and they're like throwing all this like, how you not want drama? You over there exposing and throwing your Facebook information now. Happens all the time.
Yeah, I think two things can be true though. I'm not disagreeing. I also do feel like people, for maybe selfish reasons and for whatever reason though it is, they hold a certain level of attachment to their culture, and people mourn when change happens. And I think that's the bigger thing. I think that when change happens and people aren't prepared for it, or it's something that they have their version of love, because people be like, you can't love this person, you can't love this thing, you've never met them, you don't know enough about it. But you the same way you can fall in love with an idea of a thing, that's what it is. Yeah. Right? They fall in love with the idea and they now mourn that their idea of whatever that person is gone.
There's a fine line between love and obsession though.
But see, my thing is this, it's all about language, because language helps shape the way that we think about concepts. Because you have some people that will look at someone who is obsessed with them and be like, oh my God, they love me. You know what I'm saying? And by their definition, if that includes it, then they're not wrong. Because everybody has a slightly different variation of, it's why I said marriage is poorly defined that day, because I was just like, it's so many different things that constitute what a good marriage is. There's so many different things that constitute what love is. We have like an idea, like at the bare minimum, because everybody be mad at me if I said at the bare minimum, it's just like love is just a chemical process that like prompts us to breed. Shout out Rick and Morty. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like people will be mad at me because they're just like, no, love is much more than that. Okay, we're disagreeing, but you get what I'm saying? It's just like it, like by your definition, it could be more or less or whatever. So it's just, I think that all I'm saying is that two things can be true. Because there are some people I genuinely do believe like
or
cried,
sad, yeah,
sad.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like some people can be,
yeah, for sure. All right, though, we finna get out of this bitch, man. We tired of talking shit, man. It's been a long night. I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with us for as long as y'all have, man.
Y'all got y'all facts.
Yeah. Y'all got y'all facts, man. Y'all brought some physics.
I had a really dope fact like 3-4 days ago, and I kept telling myself to write it down.
Damn.
I did not.
Damn. How y'all want to do it, though? I need to go first. You gonna go first? All right. What's your fact?
Y'all
baby?
all grab y'all phone. Everyone's like, let me look at something real quick. I'm always preparing my fact. You know me. I'm the animal fact guy.
I was gonna do my animal fact, but I said I'm gonna leave that to Cordell, so I'm gonna stick with my children.
Oh, see, I appreciate that. See, she knew I do animal things.
1 in 36 8-year-old children have been identified with autism spectrum disorder. This is according to the CDC. That is an increase from 2018 when there was about 1 in 44 8-year-olds diagnosed.
Ooh, that's actually. Can we talk about that for a second? Because that's actually interesting. Because that's like people were saying that autism was gonna be the new form of, like they said, like of evolution that we're currently seeing. Because a lot of people that have autism that are usually on the spectrum are like stupid smart. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like Asperger's or whatever the different. There's lots of different types of autism, but I'm
not mature enough for the name of that disorder.
Well, fair, but
who does that? Who says this person has some neurological condition? We're going to name it Asperger's. I know that it's a dude. I know that it's a dude's name.
Children around me.
But hey, it doesn't matter though. Like your name sounds like
anything serious.
Your name sounds like Asperger's. Why would you ever do that to kids or people in general?
Anyway,
this child has Asperger's.
I knew that's exactly what you were talking about.
But they even did, and it was a poorly done movie in my opinion. But they even kind of touched a little bit on that. If anyone saw the newest Predator, not the newest Predator, not the Predator where they're like but the one before that where they basically he was hunting the child because he had autism and he was considered him the new form of evolution. So even in movies they've started to adapt this whole thing. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that's the new wave. That's gonna happen, and the fact that you said it's even increased now to that much is very interesting, and just showing how active that actually is, which is interesting to think about.
It is, and I see it daily. Out of the 60 kids in my center, 1, 2, 3, 4 diagnosed. So there's one kid in every class.
They're usually geniuses in a certain field.
Yeah,
you'll see someone that has autism will gravitate to one type of thing, and they're will be ridiculous smart. Whether it's trains or rockets or whatever it is, and they're just
mm-hmm. And the
know everything about it.
The crazy thing is, a lot of these kids are just now. So this is only for 8-year-olds. That's what this study was done on, and a lot of the 8-year-olds that probably need to be diagnosed aren't getting the diagnosis because either one, their parents are saying no, they don't need to get tested for this because they fine, they just bad, or something like that. But the good thing is that now with daycares and things opening back up, kids are going to start getting their intervention early that they need, because you have other people that are seeing your child and recognizing these signs and symptoms early on. So whereas these 8-year-olds kind of missed out on that because of COVID, and they were kind of forced to be in the house with their folks, and that's all they knew. Now we got kids back out in the world, where people can kind of be of assistance to them. So that's my fact.
It was a good one.
I found my fact.
You said what?
I found the fact that I thought of.
Okay.
So
I'm
sorry. So I don't know if you probably knew this because you know all things about all animals, but eggs are not baby chickens.
Right.
You're right. because a chicken, like an egg, has to be fertilized before it can actually become a chicken. So if you're eating eggs, you're not eating baby chickens. You're eating the chickens. Period.
Is it bad that I also knew that?
No, that's
why
I'm not surprised at all.
That's why I said it was funny. I was like, I do.
Yeah,
that's a good one though.
Yeah,
I found it interesting.
Did you want to go last? You look you got a serious point.
What is your fact?
what is my fact?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, honestly, I don't have one.
Yeah.
But if you want me to, all right. So like,
Go ahead.
So like, there's a water bottle that you can buy, and it has measured out when you fill it up. If you were to line that exact amount of water,
Why do we know this?
each water molecule individually, it would travel the distance of a light year. So you can literally drink a light year's worth of water molecules.
I'm not understanding what that
That's
is.
the suckiest fact you've ever given.
I don't understand.
I thought that was an amazing fact.
I'm a look.
That sounds like a sales pitch. I'm not
I'm a
gonna
little
lie.
confused by that.
Hey,
If you line each individual water molecule up,
How can you do that though?
what they know the distance. They know they know how to measure H2O, 2 hydrogen molecules in the oxygen
So
molecule.
the water bottle just has like the measuring thing, but it's
Yes, it has different measurements. It also has like the exact amount of water that's in like a human eye and all of this other stuff that you can. It's just like a little sciencey thing. That's all.
so like if you drink this much, they're like, oh, that's the equivalent of drinking a human eye.
Right, the amount of water in a human eye. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, but like a lot. You said what?
That's dumb.
And I was like, and then I also said that's.
We not fighting for his friendship, so we ain't over here.
I don't care. Wait, hold on. Do you not? That's an amazing feat of scientific. That's an amazing feat of scientific engineering. Am I the only one that understands the magnitude
We
of
all
this
best
beautiful
buddies.
cinematic?
It's a fucking fact
Yo,
that I
that's
didn't have to
reason
fucking
I'm marveling
fight.
at the fact.
Like, I'm marveling at the fact that we are at the point where all we are is a mush of gray matter, and we've been able to measure to precise detail the size of a water molecule, and we can say, okay, how like what would it take to like how many of these would it take to go a light year, the distance that light travels in a year? And it's just like, oh, it's this much.
I don't think that's gonna fit on a water bottle.
I was gonna
It
say,
can.
like, this does not make
I don't
sense.
think that makes
I'm
sense.
not understanding the concept.
because you said
What
They say
part?
that our intestines can.
I'm with you, my nigga, but hey, fuck everybody
Yeah, like our
else, cuz.
veins can travel around. Like if you unravel, all of them can travel. Like I think around the world or some shit.
A couple of times.
not our veins.
Yeah,
Our
like our
intestines.
veins. If you
The intestines
veins,
are like I think like a football length or something weird like that. Something
no,
really
it's
long.
30-something feet.
Something long like
I'm talking
that.
about all of your veins and all of your capillaries. Y'all ain't finna sit up here and try me.
So you something like if you line them up together.
Yes.
What does that have to do with the light years though?
I'm
The light
also
year-
very
the-
confused about that.
The light, it's the amount of if you were to put each individual water molecule.
I'm saying, how do they measure that on a water
they're
bottle?
scientists. What are you asking me for? They're the ones that did it. They just did it. You asking me like you want all of the details? Ask Neil
And
deGrasse Tyson.
we're asking the same
I feel like a
question.
light year and a
Would be a
water
yes.
molecule are two different units of measurement.
Yeah, I feel like we're
No,
asking
that's
the same
that's
question.
the point. It's to show how it's to show how small the water molecules actually are. That you could line these up for a light year and put it in the size of a bottle. That's how small. That's how mind-bogglingly small the water molecules actually are.
See, that's why I said it's a sales pitch because I don't like. Maybe it's just over my head.
I feel like
It's just a random,
So, to
potentially
me-
useless
to me-
fact. Y'all are trying to figure out it's
me, I
relevant.
I feel like that's a
It's not
potentially
going to say
useless
it's
water
not.
bottle. They was like,
It's
it
not
was like,
going to.
and they sold it. They marketed it perfectly for people like you.
Right.
He was like, yeah, this is interesting.
Hey, Juan over there drinking sips.
That was
Yeah,
a light
Ready
year.
to post
Juan over
TikTok.
there, Juan over there with his water bottle drinking a sip. Damn, nigga, I done drunk like 3 spleens. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that crazy, bro?
Yeah.
No wonder I was dehydrated.
Y'all mad at me because I didn't
I need another
come
light
with a
year.
fact that was gonna change climate change or end world
like-
hunger.
I feel
Nigga,
like-
it was potentially useless fact.
It
I feel-
was certainly
I feel like it also went over my head.
It was cool.
I'm trying to add it up in my head to
I'm
make
gonna
it
have to
make
look
sense.
it up.
Yeah, I feel like maybe a visual it would make more sense, but the way it's explained, and I'm not saying
when I'm drinking a light years distance of water, and y'all sitting there drinking.
All right.
This nigga damn.
He earning his friendship.
Damn.
I don't want to
So
hear.
a light year.
I ain't even gonna say my fat.
A light
Fuck
year
this
is a
shit,
measure.
Dre scared
I'm
his
still trying to
fat.
figure it out.
Nope.
A light year is a measure of distance.
Because if you line them up, what are you talking
If you
about?
line up the water molecules.
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
Yes.
If
Say
you
it
line
again.
up
Say
the
it-
water molecules,
Say it again, but slower.
if you line up the
Slower.
individual
I understood.
water molecules, each H2O, each one of those, if you line them up one by one by one,
Yes.
it will be the distance of a light year.
How big is the water bottle?
The water bottle? The water bottle's like this.
just trolling.
No, I'm not, because I'm like holding a water bottle right now. Like there's a lot of water moleccules in here.
So this is my thought process. I feel like
I
we
mean,
want.
okay.
I want to take it.
Yeah,
So
I
if you
can't
wash your hands.
If you
tell.
have the measurement, I didn't wash my hands.
All right.
If you have the measurement from here to like here, and then you get that little line thing where they're doing it, this is gonna be, I don't know, they're gonna say like this is what, like, I don't know, what is it, 16 ounces, 12 ounces? Yeah, 16
He's
ounces.
drinking a little bit out of it.
16 ounces. Well, I'm saying a normal water bottle is gonna have the amount of ounces and stuff.
Right.
So couldn't, like, if you wouldn't say all of the water molecules, you would just need one to be in a straight line. So it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because, all right, so
hold on.
this is
So
the
I understand.
So there's
I
volume
understand. No.
involved, and then we're
I
talking
understand.
distance,
I
and there's so much
understand. I
different
understand. I
She
understand why
found
y'all
it.
think that it's stupid. It's because y'all are stupid. And I can I get it. This was a genius fact. Okay, so this is what you have to do. 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 I understand
Hey, look,
it.
he ain't
This the
talking
nigga
about
that
me.
made the water bottle.
Yes, this is it.
Oh shit.
This is
okay.
it.
Play
This is it.
Can we hear the volume? That's how it got one right there.
Exactly. He said a dye that rolls one number. What is this? The onion?
He dropped it. Oh yeah.
See, that makes sense to me because you can actually quantify that amount. I mean, you can with the other
So
things. Well,
what
you
didn't make
said.
sense about what he said though?
Wait. Okay. What?
Oh, no.
I'm saying like when he says like the heart, you can take a heart out, figure out how much blood is in it, and put that volume in there. So all that stuff. So when you're thinking water molecules,
It took this.
you
week.
have to add. There's this volume, then you have the density, you have all this, and I'm sure again he's way more science than me. So what he's saying is probably
They
correct.
probably know exactly how much one H2O atom or molecule weighs. And if you can measure that up against
a molecule. Anyway, never mind.
you can measure that up against like larger volumes, and it's just like, okay, we know how much one weighs.
It's like scale.
How much,
It's like scale.
Scale, right?
Yeah,
And so they
scale
just
line.
scale it up to, okay, and if you were to like line it all up, it would be this long. Well, this is the fact it's taking way too much.
I
of our
told you
lives.
it went over my head, but now I kind of get it. I
Hey,
still
bro,
think it's
you know
dumb.
what?
but-
Yo-
Once again, when I'm drinking a light year's worth of water, y'all just sitting there drinking y'all's measly like football fields length
Look,
of
bro.
And
water.
the thing, the worst part about it is the bottle said like some milliliters, so it's
That's
literally
what I
just
was
still the
saying.
same measurements.
That's literally what I was thinking in my head. I
But-
said it's still gonna have the amount on it, but anyway. I guess you want to go for your fact.
My
Hey,
fact was still
Marketing
fine.
is insane.
You want to go fact or you want me to go?
You go ahead, my brother.
All right, you want blast? All right. So you know me, I'm gonna kick with another animal fact because I know y'all love these.
Y'all waiting to go last, but ain't damn one of y'all getting the big box. Like,
A big box?
We haven't given out a box.
We want to get the
in,
big
like,
bucks.
Since the first show
he
that we
most
gave out
certainly,
boxes.
if I'm giving
huh?
out the box, he most certainly not getting the damn box.
To me,
Yes, you.
We haven't given out a box in so long that Cordell don't even know what the boxes are.
That's because Cordell don't watch the show.
I watch the show.
Damn.
I'm on the show.
I was the last person that gave
I'm
out a
on-
box.
you were the last.
Man, stop making up phrases.
Go ahead with your fact. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
They're just waiting for the show to end.
so everyone knows, there's predators and there's prey and stuff. So a lot of different animals have different type of unique thing. Why every single time I say something, he always laugh? I never get too worried. He always laughs.
I always have a joke. I'm so sorry. I would have asked you, what are you, Predator?
Don't be triggered.
That's all. Go ahead.
So everyone, obviously different animals have different defense mechanisms. Porcupines have spikes. Such other animals have poison. Yada yada. So there's some really really weird ones that maybe some people don't know about. So one that I want to talk about is the horned lizard. They actually shoot blood from their eyes at their enemy, and they can go up to like 3 or 4 feet, and it don't do shit. It just confuses them, just like how we would be like, oh, did that nigga just shoot blood out his eyes? It's exactly what the animal's thinking. So that's it. Don't stop shit. It's really just so it's like, oh, like just throws, and then the animal gets so confused of what just happens, he just slowly backs away. Is essentially this nigga's superpower.
It's crazy.
So most animals have actually like if you eat it, I'm poisonous, or I'm a rub.
So you're saying that you have prey, and you got predators, and then you got some animals whose defense mechanism is what the fuck is them.
It's the ski blood out there.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting one. There's lots of them, but I could be here all day.
To stun.
Oh, it doesn't stun them.
To surprise or confuse your enemy with
like,
some.
Why did you?
Yeah, it's literally that. It's literally just
It's a minor inconvenience.
It's a minor. It's supposed, because you, like I said, other animals, their stuff actually works. Like it's gonna poison them, or it's gonna hit them, or it's gonna it's actually effective. But theirs is literally, they're just hoping the animal is so confused of what just happened that they're just like, nah.
So that animal's defense mechanism is essentially like, proverbially speaking, like the same as like the fact that I just said.
They're hoping the other animals are germaphobe.
Like if someone was about to fight me and punch me, and I just started making balloon animals and shit. That's essentially what this nigga doing. You'd be like, what?
I'm not gonna lie. If I was fighting somebody and started making balloon animals, I'm knocking them out harder. Like, I'm like, bitch ass nigga, what? Balloon animal on me? What are you talking about?
Niggas out here clowning. Good.
What you got?
He was making a lizard.
My shit ain't heavy for real. Astronauts grow taller in space.
I think I've heard that.
It's
I don't remember if it was taller or shorter, but that sounds right.
That's some gangster shit.
Yeah, man, they just out there. You leave Earth, you getting taller, cuz.
Yes, because you don't have the pressure of the atmosphere.
Do you revert back to your normal size?
I asked you about the revertness. I don't know.
They revert back because I mean it's the same. It's the same thing as like when you take fish.
That's crazy.
It's like when you take fish from like the Mariana Trench and you bring them up and they're like all bloated and look like bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Then when you put them back down, they look like.
So basically, what you're saying is once you go out and you alleviate the pressure. But when you come back in, the pressure you get.
Yeah, because there's no gravity. So,
so that means
the Earth's atmosphere is at like gravity's at 14.7 psi. So as soon as you leave the Earth's atmosphere,
look at this tie pressure expert over here.
Yeah, this
nigga the truth and tie.
That's what it is.
This nigga can look at your tires and be like, it's about 28 psi in it. Let's look at you.
You right.
I thought that was common knowledge.
What?
The Earth's atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere.
That's not common knowledge, bro. It's not. That's why I'm roasting you up. I'm roasting you up in a homeboy way.
I mean, I just thought that was common knowledge. Just everyone knew the Earth's atmosphere pressure. It's like
we giving out the boxes. You actually gonna do it? Okay.
Yeah. I can't just look at someone and be like, "Damn, that's like 3 psi." Like, no, it's just
I can't tell. You know the PSIs out here in the
I know a lot of shit. That's why I wanted me on this podcast.
Pounds per square inch.
Yeah, it's measured directly based off height.
That's crazy,
so that makes sense that you
so
said
gravity make you. Yeah, that's crazy. That shit weighing down on my body, niggas. I'm short.
It's probably not too much. You probably only grow like an inch or so. I couldn't imagine it'd be like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, you're not finna go from like 6 feet to 6'6". Like you don't have 6 inches.
But
worth
it's probably
pressure built.
You feel what I'm saying? Like if that's the case, like boy,
it's crazy.
Well, you also, your body atrophies too. That's why they got to work out over there. Otherwise, you'll lose like ridiculous amounts of weight. That's why you have to work out like constantly over there. Otherwise, you'll like. So if you really want to like lose weight, or someone's like really heavy, you just stick them up in space and just feed them normally. They're gonna lose like ridiculous amounts of weight.
And bring them back.
Which is why I don't understand why people don't think that space is real. Like, it's people that have gone up there and like understood that, damn, this is fucking me up because I'm not exercising.
What's beyond space?
What's
Give
beyond
out the
space?
boxes because we going too far.
Just
What's
more space.
What you talking about? Yeah. And technically, we're in space right now. I mean, where does space start? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn, that's too deep. I think we ended there.
yeah. Go ahead and give out the boxes, baby.
I know I get beat, but
Don't nobody get the big box. All y'all facts was trash.
My fact was.
If I would have brought better facts if I knew there was boxes involved.
My facts
Damn.
were genius. Actually.
don't worry about it.
Wait, how was my fact trash? Mine was interesting. None of y'all knew it.
I
don't
actually
think
did.
so. Oh, you did know that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see why I know that. He know about animals and shit.
This is about who.
What
don't
did Fred
get a
even
box.
say while you sitting over the plate contemplating?
I,
His fact was not even memorable.
You gotta get
His
Like-
fact wasn't even memorable. We don't even know what that nigga said.
Everybody already knew my fact.
It's because I remember because I knew it. Like I was just like,
Oh, what did he say?
So
What
that's
did he say?
favoritism now.
Huh? Oh, about the eggs. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
Fred.
yeah.
yeah.
How do y'all know she was about to give me this box?
It says small, but it's actually medium, right?
Even still,
That's what I tell my lady. But it's actually medium. I was just trying to make y'all laugh.
Oh my God.
I like that the box says small on it, but
Cuz
it's
went too
like
far too quick.
The big box says medium.
That's funny. That is exactly how the fuck.
So that must mean that's tiny.
Don't even give me that box.
She got shit in there.
What is that?
You can't be indecisive, baby. Really and truly, out of everybody,
Yay! What is it?
Bruh. How?
Little facts.
Okay.
How?
Okay.
What? It's still not
I could have said snakes predicted earthquakes and it was harder than that shit.
Big facts.
What?
Medium
You
facts.
do not have big facts.
This is
Those are
medium
the
facts?
Medium facts.
Medium
You
facts.
just got facts.
What does your card say?
It just says facts.
I get big box.
Oh, so you have standard facts.
Yeah, you got little bitty boy facts.
dang, DJ Mood, it was me this time.
You got little bitty facts.
Why do I feel like this was like
big?
I don't
boy-
know? There's some bias going
Y'all
on over
see
here.
this shit going on? 100
Some
shit
bias.
hitting. Big boy. Big
All right,
box.
all right. You know what?
Big
You know what?
facts.
First off,
Big
I just
facts.
first
He's
off,
like,
I just
got
want to.
another fact.
No. I'm actually gonna make a rule right now.
Give me back my box.
I'm gonna make a rule right now.
I win.
You shouldn't be allowed to get a box if you gotta look up your facts as you get here. I knew mine off the top of my head. Y'all gotta look shit up.
Hey.
That alone should I got another box.
Oh man,
Hey,
it was a
but
good
I'm
episode.
gonna tell you one thing. How you get this, like, not the biggest box, but the one in the middle, and you still, man, we got people that ain't get a box.
You feel I'm boxless.
And you
I'm
wanna
boxless.
come to
show.
me?
All I'm saying
That shit
is,
wasn't waiting.
all I'm
And
saying
I
is,
pulled my
I
fact off the
can't.
top of my head.
All I'm saying is, I can't prepare with my fact. You had to look yours up. You shouldn't get the big. If you cheat on the test and I studied, of course they're gonna be mad and they'll be like, "Well, he got an A, nigga, cheat on me."
How you
Like,
know we didn't write it down?
Yeah, how you know we don't got our notes?
Because-
This is all facts podcast. We go
because
to our
because
notes
I have
full of facts.
eyes and I have processing, and as soon as he said I didn't do a fact, y'all both took out your phones.
Went to our notes of facts.
Man, look, I appreciate
Notes.
y'all, man. This was a
Facts.
fun episode, man. Look, let me tell y'all something. Next
I
time,
find that
box.
Next
I find
time-
that dubious at best.
West
next
side,
time
my
I'm gonna
brothers.
come up with the factiest fact that anybody's ever had to
Yeah.
fact before, and it's gonna make y'all mad at how factual that fact is gonna be.
What is the rating scale of the? Oh no.
Yeah.
I like.
I hope that I'm never that.
Oh, my mama.
Whatever that is.
She's playing shit, boy.
I hope that I'm never just chilling and like something just come around the corner and just
Hey man, hey, get us out of here,
All
man.
right, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. This has been All Facts Podcast, man. As always, we bring y'all that good, greasy, hot shit every time. You feel me?
Pause.
Good, greasy, and hot. That's crazy.
McDonald's fries. You feel what I'm saying?
She's
We
like,
are
I
the
don't
Mac-
mind. She's like, I don't mind it being hot, but I don't know about greasy.
We're the McDonald's fries of podcast. You feel what I'm saying? So come through, get your daily dose of golden good factualizations and shit.
Yo,
All right, we
make sure y'all
appreciate-
follow us on all social media platforms at All Facts Podcast Show.
Amen.
If you have some questions, some
Amen.
comments, email us at allfactspodcastshow@gmail.com. calm.
You feel me?
West Side.
And make sure you comment down in those comment section below what you guys thought about the debates. Let us know your personal opinions, man. We appreciate all you guys.
Somebody start a fight in the comments.
Start a fight in the comments, and like people that actually know like shit, like please advocate for my fact, because I feel like my fact was drastically underrated.
Hashtag Montgomery.
It even came with the video instruction.
That means you cheated.
Still didn't.
That means you cheated.
No, it doesn't.
You had to use a video. You had to use a PowerPoint. They had to look this up. I should get the big box.
All right, man. Do y'all have any final words for the folks, man?
I got the big boss now.
Hashtag Montgomery fight in the comments.
Yeah. Hashtag Montgomery fight. Hashtag All Facts Podcast. Philosopher Fred, you got anything, player?
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe, and don't hit people with folding chairs. We out.